inside the classroom. Today we are inside the SWS classroom where students will be showing us their current project, Degenerate Arts. Teachers are Diane, Keon, and Ayden.
You guys know, we've just finished our unit on degenerate art, and we're looking at Hitler and propaganda. And we know that Goebbels took over every part of society, including art, movies, magazines, newspapers. There is nothing, books, nothing that he didn't touch. And Hitler knew, as a failed artist, how important art could be. And if you remember, he loved what he called German art, true German art, which was what? What did we see in his true German art museum? Realism. What kind of things did we see? Families, the good German family. What else? Nudity, a lot of naked women. He loved that. And it said that women were either mothers or whores. Yeah, that's what it looked like in a sense. So there was a lot of nudity. But these statues and paintings of women looked very static. They looked really still, didn't they? There was no movement. The other thing, he had statues of what?
Soldiers.
Those soldiers, and half of them were naked too, right? So, and it was the German landscape and how beautiful. So anything that promoted war and idealized Aryans and motherhood and soldiers. So, at this time, Expressionism was huge in Germany. And there were a couple of schools, the Blue Rider School, and these famous Expressionists who again, what is Expressionist art versus realistic or versus Impressionism? Who can remember? What is an Expressionist? Hannah.
Like it's got movement.
It's got movement. What else does it have?
It's primitive.
It can be primitive. What else? Yeah.
Bright colors.
Bright colors. Are they realistic colors necessarily? No. So what are these guys painting?
Like a psychological.
They are painting the inner thing, the psychological state, the emotional state, right? So that if somebody is green, they're not actually green, but they're ill. And that's the psychological state, right? So Hitler went through the museums and he purged the museums of anything he considered, quote, degenerate, that was going to cause Germany to decay. And what was in that art, besides Expressionist art? What other kinds of art did he take away? Music, but it was jazz, you're absolutely right. He hated jazz. But what other kind of art? What? Anything with a negative depiction of war. Good. What else?
Jewish artists.
Jewish artists. Communist artists, communist themes. Anything that was modern, hated modern art. Abstract, all that stuff, it was gone. And it was very hard because these guys were the superstars in German art right now, these Expressionists. Okay, so our job today is to turn a piece of art that Hitler loved into a piece of art that Hitler hated. So I have copies of this beautiful picture that you all take a look at, and you tell me what you see in this picture. What do you notice? What's it of? How do the people look? Why would Hitler love it? There you go. All right, so start talking to me. What do you see? Blondes, yes. Meaning what?
Aryan.
Yes, so we have some good Aryan children here. Mom and Dad. What else do you see?
The grandmother.
Pale skin. The grandmother. So what does that tell you?
Like all generations.
All generations living together. Family, how important German family is. What else do you see?
Boy is so serious.
That beautiful German landscape on the back. Yep. What else?
The child is so serious.
Yes, are all of them serious?
No, the one in the middle.
They're all pretty.
They're all pretty, but the one in the middle is like super.
Yeah, but they're all serious. What's that about?
They don't look like they're having fun.
They don't, do they? What a bunch of unhappy people. How about Mom and Dad and Grandma?
It's just sad.
Looks sad.
Everybody, nobody's smiling or having a good time. So what are the little girls doing?
Drawing. One sitting on the lap.
One is sitting on her mother's lap, but what else do you notice in this picture?
The mother, and they're showing like what women should do at the time, because that's what Hitler portrayed them as again, was just mothers.
Right, and remember in Germany, you got money if you were banging out Aryan babies. But what's down in that lower left corner that you see?
The doll.
Oh, so what's this little girl gonna grow up to be?
The mother.
Right, okay, and the other little girl's drawing. And how about the boy?
Playing with the horse.
A horse.
It's like portraying that
What's
he
he
will
gonna
be a
be?
soldier.
Soldier.
So this is the point of it. They are preparing mothers, the girls to be mothers, and boys to be soldiers. So there's dad and mom and grandma, the extended family. What do you notice about the interaction between this family? Yeah, how do you know? They're so close.
They're all looking in different directions.
Is anybody looking at each other?
No. I
No.
think the
So,
grandmother might be looking at the little boy.
no, I think she's looking above his head. So here we go, German landscape, this beautiful idyllic family that looks very static. Nobody's moving and there's no interaction between them. Here is your job. You are going to take, you're not going to repaint this whole thing. You're going to take tape and you are going to have 4 pieces of tape. I'll pass the tape around. And you're going to choose one section of this painting. Don't care what it is, there's no right or wrong. You choose whatever you want. And what you're going to do is make a little square or rectangle around that part. So I'll choose this little girl's head and the mom. So I'm putting tape around the part that I'm going to paint. And this is what you're all going to do, but you can do anything you want. So now, I'm only going to concentrate on that one little bit. But it can be anything. That's the part I'm going to choose to paint in the Expressionist style. So let's talk about the Expressionist style now. This was done by Amy Candell a few years ago. And the first thing you want to do in this style is have a light source. So up here, pretend this is a big light source. So you see that one side of their faces are very bright, the other side dark. But what do you notice about this? Tell me what you notice about this painting. This is perfect expressionism. What do you notice? Yeah.
These large brush strokes.
Huge brush strokes, really fat brushes. What else?
Proportions.
Proportions aren't exactly right. What else?
Unrealistic.
Unrealistic colors, aren't they? Absolutely. Often the Expressionist, as we saw, started everything, circled everything with a dark black. A lot of the work we saw was that. So you have this light source. Okay. So how about mixing colors? You all know how to do that?
Yeah.
Yellow and blue make
Green.
yellow and red make
Orange.
If you mix all those colors with black, you get brown. White, anything will lighten up. Okay, here's another one that Amy painted, and it's so beautiful. She did this like in 10 minutes. So why would Hitler hate this?
Crazy.
Unrealistic colors. Does this look like the little girl in the picture?
No.
How does she look?
Look happier.
Oh, I don't know if she looks happier, but she looks older. She definitely looks older to me. And I don't know that she looks that happy. Her eyes don't look that happy to me. But she looks older in this picture. And then I did this one, of the little girl and the dad and the kid, which I didn't finish. But again, I used the dark outlines, the dark shading, and unrealistic colors. Yeah,
How big does your square have to be?
anything you want. There's nothing. Now, I love this one. One of my students last year or 2 years ago did this for me. And it is called Boy of War. What did he turn this boy into?
A soldier.
Yeah. So remember, that's one of the things. Remember that expressionist painting where the kid, the guy painted the picture of the portrait of the man? The man goes, I don't look like that. And he said, you will in 10 years. Remember that? So here is that, boy soldier. I just think that's so cool. So all you're going to do is I'm going to give 2 bunches of tapes to kids in the other room. I'll give 2 bunches of tape to kids in this room. Just rip off 4 pieces and then decide where you're going to do it. Start. And then, wait a minute, grab a brush and half of you, 10 of you in there, 10 of you in here, okay?
These were painted by the students, and this is the project they're doing. They have to tape around a square a part of the picture you saw earlier and expand it onto one painting.
Oh my god.
What are you painting today?
I'm painting the grandmother in this picture, which was loved by Hitler, and we're making it into an Expressionist art painting instead, because Hitler didn't like Expressionist art. So I'm trying to like draw her psychological state of mind, which I would think is kind of like depressed because she's old and she's a woman and she doesn't have all the rights in Germany like a woman should. So yeah, that's it. It's half done, so it's not very well. But
What are the requirements of this project?
no like romantic art. So it can't be like realistic. It has to be expressionist. So it has to be kind of like how a child would draw a painting. So kind of like primitive, childish painting, drawing. Yeah. And so all the colors are kind of like not realistic, and the drawing and the structure of the lines is not realistic, and the hair.
Hi, what are you painting today?
I'm currently painting the German landscape filled. It's not quite done yet, but it's going to be a scene of war with explosions in the landscape. And the child is basically going to be there sitting while war is raging all around him.
And what are the requirements of this project?
Requirements basically take the image that Diane gave us and transform it into an aspect of art that Hitler would despise. And that's about it.
Yeah.
Yep.